Hi there, how are you? Hope all's well. Today we brought you an interesting video. It's the travel-friendly grinders. Now we are planning to make an ultimate video of the travel-friendly grinders where we'll include some manual grinders. If you haven't checked, we made this interesting video. It was a couple of years ago, but still very interesting one of the kind of that one of budget-friendly hand grinders, but still it's very enjoyable. In the future, we plan to input some manual grinders, some other recommendation based on your comments. So if you have any travel-friendly grinders in mind, feel free to mention them in the comment section. We'll make sure to include them in the upcoming video. And yeah, without further ado, let's start. So the first grinder of today's list is the Femobook A2. If you haven't checked, we made a review about all of their line grinders. Feel free to check this video. They have 4 battery version grinders and 1 electric grinders. But for today, they brought kind of the budget friendly, the cheapest one that they have, which is around $100 US, the A2 grinder. So basically it's made out of plastic, very light grinder, around 650 grams, very convenient for traveling. And it has some magnetic part. Let's start from the bottom. You can see here, this is the catcher cup. You give it a twist and it opens. What I like about this catcher cup is that when you twist it, you can knock any retained ground coffee on the top part. You can do this multiple times, twist it to open. And from the top, where you can open the lid to let the ground coffee go inside to the grinding chamber. The section here where it holds the burr, you give it another twist, and you detach it from the motor / battery body. So basically here you have the burrs, and from the back you have the adjustment ground mechanism. Basically it has no physical button, you need to touch it. And when you're touching it for 2 seconds, you see the lights turn on and the battery indicator, right now it's in half. And this is very effective battery indicator, by the way. It will literally give you like 50%, give or take maybe 2-3%, but it's very accurate. And once the lights are on, you touch it again and it will start working. You can hear the motor right now, and you can see it from the bottom rotating. After 5 seconds, if no ground coffee are being ground, if no coffee beans are being grounded, it will automatically turn off. So let's speak about the adjustment mechanism. You have to rotate it to set your grind setting. When you keep going finer until you reach the finest point, it stops at number 2. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same for all of their grinders, but for the one that we have, it stops at number 2. So you have to memorize number 2 is your 0. So basically, if you install this locking nut and it stops at number 7, and you want it to stop at number 2, which is closer to 0, all what you have to do is you take this piece and rotate it to the opposite side. Basically, just twist it. Keep the burr in the same place. Just you rotated this piece to the opposite side, and you start locking, it will stop. For instance, right now it was at number 2. Because we did this, let me show you. It will stop at number 7. So this might be a helpful tip if you notice that numbers are changing between each time you clean the burrs. You see, it stopped at number 7 right now. So let's take the burrs out and speak about them. So we've taken the lower burr, and the nice thing that when you do this and you disconnect it from the motor body is the ease of brushing and cleaning the grinder. And the burrs themselves, they are very well loved burrs. Kind of exact same burrs that you will see inside the Espresso Q2. They are very famous of their clean, crisp profile. So on espresso, they gave super interesting espresso shots, and they were clean, nice fruity tasting notes. The overall mouthfeel, you still get some decent body, but you will be surprised how much you enjoy espresso from these burrs. Like, it's a still conical burr, but it's still giving you that fruity punch, some nice clarity, crispness, decent body, and you can still extract light roasts, medium roasts. With all roasts, it's enjoyable. In filter coffee, the same. Filter brews were crisp, clean, enjoyable, super tasty. And we will be comparing taste-wise in the end along all the grinders, so I won't be diving that much into details, but they are really enjoyable. So there's no need to open the burrs and take them out. I think maybe one time each month will be a good routine cleaning. It could be 2 months. I know some people leave it for 3-4 months. So you can just give it a brush from the outside and you're good to go. So the good features about this grinder is that it's super light, fully disassembled by hands. It's cheap. It can grind for espresso, it can grind for filter. Noise-wise, very decent. The battery, so it was very time consuming testing all these grinders and the battery longevity, because they are kind of small motors inside these grinders, and you have to let them rest between grinding cycle. Like if you want to see how many times it can grind for espresso, you cannot go full time 30 espresso shots. you need to grind 5 espresso shots, let's rest and do that again. So it was very time consuming, but still we seasoned the birds and it was an enjoyable process. So we made a graph, we tested each grinder based on each category. We will start sharing them with each grinder. With the Femobook, I have the data here with me. You can have it on the screen and pause the screen to see. For full charge, it was enough for 25 to 30 espresso shots, which is surprisingly good. Basically, if you grind daily, it's enough for 1 month. Remember, it's only Type-C charging. You can always connect it to your phone charger. And for filter, it's between 50 to 60 times, depending on the roasting profile. Because dark roasted coffee beans, they are very fragile, and super light roasted coffee beans, they are very dense and hard to crush between the burrs. The grinding time, now this is a major disadvantage for some people, I would say. So for espresso, on average, it takes around 3.5 minutes to 4 minutes to grind 18 grams of coffee for espresso. Now, I know what you are saying, 4 minutes grinding for espresso. This is a very long time. The good news is that espresso shots will taste amazing, and you can grind for 4 or 5 espresso shots. The grinder won't heat up. Maybe like if you grind for 8 espresso shots continuously, the motor will heat up and the protection sensor will kick in. For filter coffee, it's between minute 40 seconds, minute 50 seconds, let's say 2 minutes, still on the long side, but reasonable. You're not doing any handwork, easy, just push the button, it will grind it for you. As for the difference in click adjustment for espresso, I'm coming back to espresso. So it has a wide range, you can grind very fine, super coarse, but as the clicks, the thread of the clicks, it's not extremely accurate. So each click will give you a difference of extraction between 5 to 10 seconds. And at the very super finest setting, when we tried super light roasted coffee beans, extraction time was around 35 seconds. So let's say there might be a possibility if you are trying even very light roasted coffee beans, you will not be able to achieve past 30 seconds if you want. For travel, we're working on a budget-friendly travel espresso setup. Stay tuned for that video. Usually those small machines, they tend to require coarser grind setting. And yeah, that's pretty much all about it. The Femobook A2. So the next grinder on the list is the Timemore Worldly 0S grinder. This is a brand new grinder from Timemore. It starts around 150 US dollars and it weighs around 760 grams. So 100 grams heavier than the A2 grinder from Femobook. It has metal build quality from this part, and from the bottom it's plastic, the top is plastic. So the outer shell is made from aluminum. Basically from the top, you give it a twist and it will pop out to allow you to put your coffee beans in, and you can close it. From the bottom, it has a rubber silicone mat stand on the base, and the catcher cup, it's threaded, so you need to thread it. Some people might actually prefer this threaded design over the magnetic design of the Femobook. Maybe this one will stay more secure in travel bag. From inside, you'll be seeing the grind adjustment mechanism. The nice advantage about this grinding mechanism is that it's fixed, it will never change. So 0 will always be 0 here. And this is mainly because of the design of the central axle. They made a cut shape here from the bottom, you can see. So this is the central axle, and you see it's cut from here, from this side, it's flat. And when you try to insert the burrs, you will have no issue. But when you bring the lower disc, it has the same shape, this slight cut, and you have to align it with the central axle. Again, align it with the burr. There's a small knob here. This one will be sitting with the burr and the central axle. This way, whenever you go to the finest point, the indicator will be stopping at number 0. So those burrs are special to Timemore. They called spike to cut design. Basically, you have this cutting surface and you have those tiny teeth on top. These burrs tend to highlight sweetness and body. So in espresso, you get decent creamy body, and this will be kind of on the count of clarity. So you lose some amount of clarity and you get extra body, extra creaminess. The same for filtered coffee. Nice body, juicy. It's not the cleanest, not the crispest, but still you'll get a decent, enjoyable filter brews out of it. As opposed to the Femobook, that's it. You cannot go inside more than that. You cannot dismantle this. You cannot reach the upper burrs. There might be no need for this, but this is it. Like, we cannot access more parts out of it. The on-off switch is from here. It's a click. You can hear the motor. You can see it rotating the central axle. From the back, you have a plug for the Type-C, silicone plug. I like this, I appreciate it. My camerawoman just mentioned, and she has a point. So basically, as this is travel-friendly grinder, they probably wanted to allow you to add more beans on top, prevent some dust from coming down. As opposed here, you have this piece, you might lose it, get lost. Whereas here, no need to worry about it. So let's share the data of testing of this grinder. So surprisingly, the Timemore can only handle 13 to 15 espresso shots on full charge. And this is a bit disappointing because considering the size, it's not a small grinder. Considering the weight, it's not the lightest. And considering the price, it's not the cheapest. Only 13 to 15 espresso shots, it's on the low side. It's still efficient. Once again, if you're traveling 2 weeks, it will be enough for daily espresso shots, but it's on the low side. For filtered coffee, it's enough for 17 to 20 times filtered coffee. We are speaking about 15 gram filtered coffee, and espresso, we are speaking about 18 gram espresso. Of course, we used kind of medium roasted coffee beans, but the roasting profile will affect extra 3 less 5 espresso shots. So the average, when we say it's 13 to 15 espresso shots, you'll not be getting more than that. Maybe if you use extremely dark roasted coffee beans, it will get you 18 espresso shots. But you get the point. Click difference. So an espresso extraction, with each click, you get a difference between 4 to 8 seconds. It's a decent number, better than the Femobook. It will get you the job done. And we got espresso around number 8 clicks, basically number 2, it's 8 clicks. So you have a wide range to go even much finer if you want to do Turkish brewing method. So an espresso takes around 2 minutes on average to grind for espresso. Let's say minute 50 to 2 minutes. This is much faster time than the Femobook. And in filter, it takes around 50 seconds to 60 seconds. So it's not on the fast side, but it's faster than the Femobook. It has the automatic shut-off feature. So basically, once it finishes grinding, it will stop the grinder from working. Feels no resistance inside. And yeah, that's about it. The Timemore Whirly grinder. Let's move to the next one. So the next one on the list is called Millab grinder. And this grinder is kind of collaboration between Timemore and Millab. It came maybe a year ago, year and a half, and we made a very detailed video about it and the Femobook A5 grinder. Feel free to check that video. Very nice one, comprehensive, detailed. But today, we will try to make it briefly about the Millab. It has full metal build quality. It has standing base. Basically, you can put the grinder here and push the dosing cup inside. Like nice station to have. The dosing cup, fully metal build quality, attaches itself magnetically. The lid from top, it has a nice silicone gasket here to stay in place. The on-off switch, you push it once down, it will work. Once down, it will shut off. From the bottom, you have silicone to prevent scratches. From the back, you have Type-C charging port. And from the bottom, you have the very same grind adjustment mechanism as the Timemore. You go finer, it will stop at number 0. It's a good quality, it feels premium. Definitely feels much more premium than those other 2 grinders. As this full metal build quality, it's heavier than the other 2. It weighs around 960 grams. It's heavier, but still under 1 kilogram. So I know some people might still prefer like getting those extra 200, 300 gram if it meant to get fully metal build quality. Let's get inside, show you the burrs. So these are the burrs, you can see them here. So the burrs here, they are different than the Timemore because as you can see, it has 6 cutting teeth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges, as opposed to the one from Timemore, it's 8. So this will kind of give you more consistency. Same teeth from top and grinding geometry from bottom. Having them side by side, both of these grinders, it felt that this had an edge of crispness and clarity over the Timemore. It's still very enjoyable espresso shots, very enjoyable filtered coffee, but it felt like it had, if you want even more cleanness or crispness over the Timemore, you have it here. Let's put it that way, make it simpler. Grinding time, it's faster than the Timemore. For espresso, it takes 1 minute and 10 seconds, up to 1 minute 30 seconds, and filter 45 seconds to 55 seconds. Click difference is between 5 to 10 seconds for espresso. Basically, each click, it's jumping the extraction between 5 to 10. So the Timemore is slightly more accurate, 4 to 8 seconds. Here we got 5 to 10 seconds difference in each click. It was enough for 30 espresso shots. That's a very good number. And it was enough for 130 filter brews. So that's almost 4 months of use. Imagine. It's the battery capability in this grinder is very impressive. Let's put it that way. So the battery here is better. The build quality is very nice. Taste-wise is decent. Weight is slightly heavier. It comes with a travel bag, like cloth bag, and this is station. The station is good, but you need to use RDT to spray the coffee beans, because if you do not spray your coffee beans and you use the station, you'll have ground coffee flying everywhere. It's a static electricity, but if you spray them with some water, it will go all in easily. Still, nonetheless, I feel it's much better to use it as is, even considering this is travel friendly. So, or could be used in your office. Last but not least, option O, Lago Mini 2. So if you haven't checked, we made this nice video about mid-price range category for grinders. We had the, let's say, Gen 1 Lago Mini. And here we have the Gen 2 Lago Mini. So this is the latest Lago Mini grinder. Option O were one of the first companies to bring this small minimalistic design of grinders. Now you might be asking yourself, why did we include this as a travel-friendly grinder? And simply the reason is that this grinder, if you do not, some people do not care that much about weight, because this one is heavier. It's 1.6 kilograms. It's much heavier than those grinders. However, if you do not mind that extra 600, let's say, gram or 1.6 kilograms of weight, and you are very keen on the quality of the grinder, the performance. Over that, you want some faster grinding time, and you want mainly to use it for espresso, or you like the aesthetic of it. Here you have option O, Lago Mini 2. It can be used with any phone charger, fast phone charger it has to be, or it can be used with a power bank. For instance, for us, we use this power bank from Anchor. It has nice screen here, you can see. And you're gonna use option O cable here. It's Type-C cable from both sides. So you connect the cable to the power bank. Basically, if you are traveling, almost anyone will take with them their phone charger, fast phone charger it has to be, and the power bank. This power bank is able to go above 60 watts, which is more than enough for this grinder. And once connected to the grinder, you give it a touch from the on-off switch, and the grinder will turn on. 20,000 milliamp power bank, and as it has percentage, we notice that with each espresso shot, it goes down 1%. So this power bank will be enough for 100 espresso shots if you are using it with the grinder. 100 espresso shots. For filter coffee, we did not even bother to test because it will be 3 or 4 times that amount. So that's the reason why we included it in the travel-friendly grinder scenario. Let's speak about the design-wise. From the front, you have the dosing cup. It's not our favorite dosing cup, mainly because it's tricky sometimes to get it put. You might be hitting the grinding chute, so you have to ensure that you are twisting it from the bottom. The on-off switch from the side, super practical. Again, with this option on Mini 2 design, they've implemented the auto shut off feature. Basically, once it finishes grinding, it will automatically shut off. From top, you have the lid. You twist it, it's attached to itself by magnetic part, and you have plastic piece as an anti-popcorn. We do not use this that much. It feels a bit cheap, but it's there for people who want to use it. And you can see the birds here from the inside. What we love about the option O2 grinder is that it's extremely accurate grinder. You are able to get espresso extraction difference of 1 second by using this grind adjustment mechanism. That's 1 second. Imagine how much accurate it is. It can grind extremely fine, even finer than what you want for Turkish brewing method. Regardless of the roast, even the lightest roast you push through with it, it will crush through them. It's a very capable grinder. What we also love about the Lago Mini 2 is that it has no static electricity. Regardless of the roast that you throw it, filter espresso, you rarely get some ground coffee flying around the grinding chute, but it's very efficient. They manage somehow to make it friendly, static friendly, let's say. But if you spray those coffee beans, it's much better if you feel that they are doing some issues. As for the grinding chute, we did wish if this was movable with the new upgrade. They could have added something like the Lago one that we are testing on the Lago Casa, like a knocker, but they did not do that. One of our main issues with this grinder is the grind adjustment mechanism. Basically, it has no numbers. So if you keep going finer, it stopped here. And they provide you with the small stickers that you can stick to memorize that this was 0.0. But as you see, there are no numbers here. And I have really no idea how a company like Option O with Lago Mini Gen 2, they did not even try to put grind reference here because it's extremely easy. During QC, each grinder, they can go to the finest setting, stopped here, go to this point, put it on a laser machine, start from here number 0, 1, 2, all the way to number 9. It's extremely simple, practical. It won't take that much time. This would have made this grinder, probably in our opinion, for us, one of the ultimate travel-friendly grinders, because it can handle espresso like a breeze, super accurate, amazing build quality. We would have wanted some better lead because this one can easily get damaged. As you can see here, it fell from us and it got damaged here. Of course, we are the one who dropped it, but it feels not that much strong magnet. And maybe if they went with some kind of design like the Lagom one, once again, or Lagom Casa, to built-in hopper, like umbrella or mushroom shape, that would be appreciated, have it always open. Now let's come to the data. So it can hold around 25 grams to 30 grams. Grinding time, it's 55 seconds. So basically on average, it finishes espresso within 1 minute. However, it takes some extra 10 seconds to clear out all the ground coffee. Retention is extremely good, 0 retention here. Filter coffee, it takes between 30 seconds to 35 seconds. And click difference, as we mentioned, 1 to 2 seconds. So we really wanted to provide comprehensive feedback on the taste-wise in both espresso and filter. So what we aimed is to compare these two grinders, as they have kind of relatively similar taste preference and geometry of the burrs, and these two grinders the same, the Timemore and the Millab. When having Timemore and Millab side by side in espresso, it was a bit difficult to distinguish between the two in espresso. However, we did feel that the Timemore was sweeter, heavier in body. The Millab was slightly cleaner, but both of them tend to highlight sweetness, chocolatey tasting notes, body. So if you like this kind of tasting profile for espresso from conical burrs, definitely go for them. This one, slightly cleaner, crisper. In filter coffee, again, it was difficult to distinguish them, but the Millab felt more filter coffee friendly, let's say. And then we got both of these grinders. They share the same geometry. The Lagom Mini 2 has larger burrs than the Femobook A2. In espresso, once again, it was hard to distinguish, but surprisingly, having them side by side, tasting both espresso shots, we felt that the Femobook was higher tasting notes, punchier, crisper, more enjoyable, but the margin is really small. In filter coffee, the margin felt slightly more than that. You are able to distinguish between them, like this was crisper, juicier, and by the way, both of these grinders are delicious for filter coffee, but surprisingly, as Femobook has smaller burrs, it felt more enjoyable than the option O Lagom 2. So you have the graph of testing of the data we had here. So you have to pick based on your preference. So let's show you each one how it sounds while grinding and how much static electricity it produces. So we start with the Femobook. You keep holding the on-off switch. You get the colors. We open the lid. Oops. And we turn it on and we pour some coffee beans. So what I like to do, give it a few twists, and you can see here the ground coffee from the inside. We turn it off, we close the lid, open it. This is kind of the static electricity you will get. Again, I'm doing this to remove any knocked out coffee. This is kind of the static electricity. Yeah, it's pretty good. For your coffee, it's 63 watts, 56 watts. And once it finishes grinding, you'll see how the wattage right here, it will go lower. 40, 47. And the watt consumption goes low. Interestingly enough, if you're grinding dark roasted coffee bean, the consumption will be around 30, 40 watts. So that's interesting to see like how much the grinder is deriving power from the power bank. And yeah, that's it for the grinding noise. If you want the lightest, the very decent battery, you are on a budget, you prefer very clear, crisp espresso shots and filter coffees, you definitely cannot go wrong with Femobook. It's a wonderful grinder. They checked so many boxes. The main disadvantage, For some people might be the build quality, it's fully plastic, but again, you have to be fair. And the grinding time, it's the longest grinding time between all these grinders. The Timemore, if you like what people are getting from the Millab but you're on a budget, definitely go for the Timemore. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the battery longevity of this one because it's heavier, it requires longer battery grinding time, but I appreciate the innovation here. The lid, if you're on a camping, you don't want dust or something getting inside, covering the charging port. It looks nice also, so it's a good consideration. Millab, fully metal build quality, very nice for espresso. Personally, our preferred two grinders are the Femobook and Lago Mini 2. The reason behind this is that this is like really the most budget-friendly grinder. We cannot go over the fact that how much cheap and how much it's able to give performance out of this beautiful grinder. The Lago Mini 2, it's not cheap. It's $300 US. It's not that much massive difference compared to the Millab. And if you want for them to provide you the adapter, it will be extra $80. So it's worth the consideration. And that's it for today. It was a lengthy video. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Bye. If there's no resistance, it will shut out. It will shut off.